Hello students, in this video lecture we will discuss about class 10th CBSE Geography chapter number 4, that is agriculture. Agriculture actually derived from a two Latin words. They are, one is agri, the second one is this culture. Agri means soil and culture means cultivation. So together agriculture means it is something known as soil cultivation. You all know that in India almost two-thirds of India's population, they are dependent on this agriculture. That means out of every three people, two people, they are dependent on this agriculture. Then at the same time, it is a primary activity, and you all know that since some thousands of years onwards, we Indians, we are mainly dependent on this agriculture. And at the same time, based on some of the factors such as physical environment, socio-cultural practices, technology, agriculture has been divided into two different types of farming. There, one is subsistence farming, the second one is commercial farming. Let us discuss about this subsistence farming. What do you mean by this subsistence farming? Subsistence means, the word subsistence means it is simply you can say cultivation for self-consumption or production for self-consumption. Whatever we produce, we are not selling it in the market. It is mainly for our self-consumption. That type of farming, we call it as this subsistence farming. And we will in later, we will discuss about this commercial farming. Again, in this subsistence farming, it is divided into two different types. They are, one is primitive subsistence farming, the second one is intensive subsistence farming. Now let us see in detail about this primitive subsistence farming. What do you mean by this primitive subsistence farming? Primitive subsistence farming means the type of farming which is practiced on small patches of land using primitive tools. This type of farming, it is practiced on small size of the land by using primitive tools. Primitive tools in the sense you can say something like using old tools or traditional tools. And what are these tools mainly used in this primitive type of farming is that they are hoe, dowel, digging sticks, and when it comes to the labor, we use family labor, or sometimes we may also use this community labor. Community labor in the sense those people who live in a same particular community. Then this type of farming, that is this primitive type of primitive subsistence farming, is dependent on three important factors. They are, one is monsoon. Monsoon in the sense the rainfall. So if the rainfall is very high, the production will be very high. If the rainfall is less, the production will be less. Then soil fertility, depending upon the soil fertility. For example, for the first time, if they are cultivating on a fresh land, means it will give more production. But soon after that, since they are using only primitive tools or traditional tools, if they keep on cultivating, after some time the soil may lose its fertility. Therefore, the production may be decreasing. Then at the same time, favorable environmental conditions. So depending upon these three factors such as monsoon, soil fertility as well as environmental conditions, the production will be dependent on this primitive subsistence farming. If these factors are not favorable, means what happens is that the production will be very lesser. And this primitive subsistence farming, sometimes it is also known as slash and burn agriculture, or people also call it as this shifting cultivation. In India, it is known with different names in India, and in the world also it is known with different names. Now in detail we will see about this slash and burn agriculture, discuss about this shifting cultivation, or we also call it as this slash and burn agriculture. Here what happens is that people first they'll clear some amount of land by cutting the trees. Whatever the trees are there, they'll cut the trees and they'll clear the land, and they'll try to cultivate the same land which is cleared for some years. After that, when the soil loses its fertility, what they'll do is that they will shift to the another place. Again, after going there, they will again cut the trees, again they'll try to clear the land, again they'll cultivate. And the land which they left, after 3 to 4 years or 3 to 5 years, it will again regain its strength, it will again get its fertility. So again they'll come back and do this cultivation here. So this type of farming we also call it as this shifting cultivation, or sometimes it is also known as this slash and burn agriculture. But here, this type of farming, the land productivity is very low. Why? Because the productivity is very less, because here the tools which are used, almost all the tools are traditional tools or traditional methods of farming are used. Therefore, the production is very low. As I told, this type of farming is known with different names in different parts of this country. For example, if you take in the northeastern states of Assam, states like Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Nagaland, it is known with something known as jamming. Then in Manipur, it is known as Pamlav. And in Bastar district of Chhattisgarh, it is known as this Deepa. As well as in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, also it is known as this Deepa. Sometimes in Telugu states, it is also known as Podu farming or Podu cultivation. Then the next type of subsistence farming is that it is intensive subsistence farming. Let us see what do you mean by this intensive subsistence farming. This type of farming, it is practiced in high areas of population. That means wherever there is a high amount of population, large number of people are there, then those areas this intensive subsistence farming is done. And this type of farming, it is something which we call it as this labor intensive. That means this type of farming, it requires more and more number of labor. And here this type of farming, instead of using traditional, here people use high doses of biochemical inputs, as well as they will also follow something known as this irrigation methods. That means they'll use some chemical fertilizers, pesticides. At the same time, they also use some irrigation techniques or irrigation methods. Whereas in the previous primitive subsistence farming, we have seen all the traditional methods are followed. But here in this intensive subsistence farming, we follow somewhat modern methods by using high doses of chemicals, biochemicals, fertilizers, and we also follow this irrigation facilities. And why people have to do this intensive subsistence farming is that it is because of something known as right of inheritance. That means after father, the land must be divided equally into sons or daughters, where the amount of land is getting decreased day by day. Why? Because for example, if you take he is a father, he has 5 acres of land, some amount of land, but he has 2 sons. What I have to do is that again this has to be divided into 2 parts. Again these people, again they will have some children, again this has to be divided into three different parts. So like this, day by day, because of this right of inheritance, the size of the land is becoming smaller and smaller. And because of the small size of the land, what people are using is that they are trying to put more and more modern technology, and they are trying to gain maximum output from the limited land, or the land is very small, the size of the land is very small, but they are trying to obtain maximum output from this small land. How they are obtaining? They are obtaining from this by using latest technology or methods like high doses of biochemicals as well as irrigation methods. So by using these technology, these methods in this intensive subsistence farming, they are trying to get more from the less land. So this is about this intensive subsistence farming. Now let us see about this another type of farming which I have told, that is about this commercial farming. What do you mean by this commercial farming? In this type of commercial farming, what happens is that the crops are grown for this making profit in the market. That means, as I told, in the intensive subsistence or primitive subsistence farming, the crops are grown mainly for self consumption. But here in this commercial farming, the crops are grown for selling in the market and to make profits. And one of the very important characteristic of this commercial farming is that use of high doses of modern inputs. That means for doing this commercial farming, most of the farmers, they use this high doses of modern inputs. For example, by using this HYV seeds, or we also call it as high yielding variety seeds. At the same time, by using this chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, etc., this commercial farming is done. And another type of commercial farming is that is plantations or plantation type of farming. What do you mean by this plantation type of farming is that Whenever when a single crop is grown on a large area, we call it as this plantation type of agriculture. Only one single crop will be grown on a larger area. If you take from here to some acres, almost 5 to 6 acres or 6 to 10 acres or more than 10 acres, in all this area only one single crop is grown. That type of farming we call it as this plantation type of farming. And this plantation has an interface of agriculture as well as industry. Interface of agriculture and industry means all the industries mostly they depend upon this plantation for getting raw materials. At the same time, this plantation also depends upon these industries to get some of these modern tools or inputs. As I told, this commercial farming, it uses capital intensive inputs by using some migrant labors. Capital intensive means by using some of the modern methods, modern technology, modern tools. So by using this, they'll do this plantation type of agriculture. And very important thing about this plantation type of farming is that all the produce is used as raw material in the industries, whereas subsistence farming, as I mentioned, it is mainly for self consumption, not to sell. But this plantation type or commercial farming, it is used for produce is used as raw material in these industries. For example, tea leaves we use for making tea powder, coffee beans are used for this rubber or sugarcane, etc., etc. All these crops which are grown for this plantation type, or you can say which are grown as commercial crops, whatever they produce, they will be used as a raw material in these industries. Next, we will see about this cropping pattern in India. Let us discuss about cropping pattern in India. In India, we mainly follow 3 different seasons for growing of these crops. They are, one is Rabi, Kharif as well as Zaid. So now let us discuss in detail about this Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. When these seeds are sown in these seasons, when they are harvested, and what type of crops are grown, which states are famous. So all these things we will see in this topic. So first let us discuss about this Rabi. So this Rabi, it is mainly sown in this winter, that is in the months of October to December. That means the seeds are sown during this winter months from October to December. And harvesting, that means when they will harvest the crop, when they will cut the crop, is that during the summer months, that is from April to June. So the seeds are sown in October to December months, and they are harvested in the months of April to June. And what are the important crops that are grown in this Rabi season are? They are mainly wheat, barley, peas, gram as well as mustard. These are some of the very important crops that are grown in Rabi season in India. And here, what are the states, some of the important states which actually dependent upon this Rabi season, which actually grow these crops are, they are mainly states like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand. So these states, they are mainly growing this wheat during this Rabi season. And why these states are successful in growing this wheat? Because here the availability of precipitation in winter months due to western cyclones. That means during the winter months there is some small showers of rainfall is available in these states because of these western cyclones. That means the cyclones which are formed on the western part of this India. So because of these cyclones, there are some showers or something like some kind of rainfall is available in the winter months. So this rainfall helps in the growth of wheat in states such as like Punjab, Haryana as well as all this Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, etc., etc. And here the other reason why these states are successful in growing crops during Rabi season is that it is because of the success of Green Revolution. You all know what is this Green Revolution, and it is highly successful in states such as Punjab, Haryana as well as Western Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. So because of this Green Revolution, also these states, they are flourishing in producing these rabi crops. So the main two reasons why these states are highly successful in producing these crops is that they are mainly because availability of precipitation, availability of rainfall during winter months, and at the same time it is also due to the success of green revolution. So because of these two reasons, this rabi crop is highly successful in these states. Next we will see about this kharif season, then we will also see about this zaid. Let's talk about the second cropping pattern in India, that is kharif season. This kharif season usually begins at the starting of this monsoon season, that means in the months of June, or sometimes it also begins in some areas in the months of July. Then when it is harvested is that it is harvested in the months of September and October, and some of the important crops that are grown during this kharif season are, they are mainly paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, cotton, jute, etc., etc. So among these important crops, the very important one is again this paddy, or you can also call this as rice. So some of the important states where this rice is mainly grown during this kharif season are states like Assam, Odisha, West Bengal, AP, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala as well as Maharashtra. These are the states where they grow this paddy or rice during this kharif time. And at the same time, this rice, growing of rice or growing of paddy, has also become very important crop of states like Punjab and Haryana. As I told, the states of Punjab and Haryana, they mainly dependent upon these rabi crops such as wheat. But in the recent times, it has become more important in the states like Punjab as well as Haryana. Then in states like Assam, West Bengal and Odisha, the rice is grown 3 times in a year, or you can say three crops are grown in a year, 3 rice crops are grown in a year. So they are known with different names. They are such as Aus, Aman and Boro. What do you mean by this Aus, Aman and Boro? Aus means it is sown in the summer time and harvested in the autumn season. Then Aman means it is sown during rainy season, that means during the starting of this monsoon season, and harvested in winter season. And Boro means it is sown during the months of winter and it is harvested in this summer time. So this kharif crop, mainly this kharif season is mainly like crops like paddy or rice are grown during this kharif season. Next we will see one of the very small season in small cropping pattern in India, that is zaid. In between this Rabi and Kharif, there is a small season in the months of summer, such as months like April, May and June. That small season, we call it as this Zaid, where here this is mainly found in between these seasons like Rabi and Kharif. You can simply say in the months of May, April as well as June. So in these months, we will have a very short season, short cropping season, which we call it as this Zaid. And some of the very important crops which are grown during this short season or Zaid season are crops like watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables, and sometimes they will also grow crops such as fodder crops. That means the crops which are useful for to feed these animals. So with this we have completed this cropping pattern in India. So if we can recapitulate again, we have mainly 3 different types of cropping pattern, or 3 cropping seasons we have. They are Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Rabi, as we have discussed, it is sown in the months of October to December and harvested in the months of April. Then we can take this Kharif starting at the months of June, or you can say during this monsoon time, and harvested in the months of October and October. Then this Zaid, it is found in between the seasons such as Rabi and Kharif. So with this we have completed till this cropping pattern in India. Thank you.